Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam. Welcome back to the Horror Movie Iceberg podcast, where myself and Russell Howell review disturbing horror movies till we tap out. We're not covering a VHS movie this time, Russell. I'm sure you're very happy.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to be though if the news that you sent me is any indication of what we're going to be doing soon. But yes, a brand new movie. I'm excited about it. But yeah, looking forward to talking about Grave Encounters.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the SCP Foundation for the next VHS, and then like Blair Witch has a new movie coming out. So it's like we're done. No, you're not.
Yeah,
Not even,
you're good.
not even close.
You're going back in.
But yes, we will be talking about Grave Encounters this time around. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, we'd appreciate a follow over there as well. This was released in 2011. It was directed by the filmmaking duo known as the Vicious Brothers, real names Colin Minahan and Stuart Ortiz. It starred Sean Rogerson, Ashley Grzyko, Mackenzie Gray, and others. And it tells the story of, well, a television show called Grave Encounters. They're very much in the vein of Ghost Hunters, things like that in the late 2000s, early 2010s, where they investigated haunted locales of dubious, let's just call it dubious circumstances. This is very Zach Bagans coded. We'll get to that in a second. But they go and they film their fifth of what would turn out to be 5 episodes. And, well, there was only 5 because, well, the crew did not make it out of this one, specifically the abandoned Collingwood Psychiatric Hospital. And, yeah, they don't make it out. They tell you pretty early on. So that's not a total spoiler, but just how they don't make it out. That's where it gets surprising. But Russell, I believe this was your first time watching this. I had seen it once before.
Yeah, I had never seen it before. And my dogs never saw it either, apparently.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts generally?
It began I was intrigued. Like when I messaged you, I said the first 20 minutes I was like intrigued enough, and then I think once we got to the haunting and stuff like that, I just felt like we really kind of got hit over the head with it. You know, I felt like we really, I don't know, I felt like we were dragging on there with dropping F-bombs, everybody wondering what's going on, and then I don't know, I felt like we really we lost, the wheels came off. I felt like
I have to give them credit. Like, this is a great premise because like I was talking about, this is basically a send up of the Ghost Hunters and many other shows that were on like Travel Channel, things like that back late noughties, early 2010s. I remember seeing the promos for these all the time because I loved Man vs. Food and Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern, and those promos were everywhere. And there's like, ghosts are everywhere. I'm like, yeah, like even I as 12, 13, 14-year-old, I'm just sitting there like, I don't buy this. Not for a second.
I mean, it was one of those ones where, like I said, I was on board for a while. And then I think once it happened, like I think we started to try to like throw it over, like deliberately over the top type stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like I was on board with it and I liked it. Don't get me wrong. A great premise. I like how we also think that we know, they think they know where they're at in the building. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, let's go out that door. Wait, that was the door we came into. And boom, it was like almost like a back rooms type thing. You know what I mean? I did like that. I thought that was kind of cool. That whole idea of being literally trapped in this building, I thought was really cool. I just think we kind of got hit over the head with all these ghosts and stuff like that. I think we just got really hit over the head with it. And I think, but if it wasn't for that, and I thought if we could have done it a little bit more, like, yeah, it's building a suspense for sure. You know, I just felt like by the end, I think we really got hit over the head a lot with it. You know,
right? They give this whole thing socks though. Like they have a whole intro for Grave Encounters, which I thought was really well done. Yeah, like they put the work in to make this feel like a legit ghost hunter show of the era. Yeah, in in my research, I think it may have been Ortiz. Yeah, it was Ortiz who just thought that this was a perfect concept because him and I'm forgetting his name now. Him and Minahan, there you go, were big fans of the Blair Witch Project, which I mean, we'll talk
You could
more about
tell.
that in a second. But yes, it's not easy to. It's not hard to see that.
Yeah.
But they loved that. They loved seeing the mockumentaries that have been popping up, like Paranormal Activity, among others. And in an interview, he wondered aloud to Minahan one day, "Why has no one made a fucking found footage film out of these ghost hunting shows?" And so they up and did that. They did receive some funding from, of all things, American Express, like the credit card company, like that American Express. It's not too unfamiliar to me. They work a lot with the Tribeca Film Festival, so
Okay.
that could explain a lot as well. One of the more underrated found footage movies I've ever seen is called 388 Arletta Avenue, and that was also co-produced by American Express.
Okay.
So it's not too uncommon to me, but the budget for this is around the neighborhood of 120 grand. And I
Okay.
feel like that was just to get access to the building and to pay the
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and anything New York, they usually always American Express usually pretty much stamped with New York. So Tribeca kind of makes sense that they would have their hands in this. And I also wonder if Stuckman got any inspiration for this with with Shelby Oaks, with that whole type of setup too, with having that like episodes. You know what I mean of those.
I I could see it.
Yeah,
However, that I think if you I think you're thinking of that opening scene. I feel like
yeah.
that's more of a Lake Mungo homage than anything.
Yeah, and I know that's what he was saying with Lake Mungo and Blair Witch were obviously his motivations or inspirations behind Shelby Oaks, but it just having that type of thing, like having an episode like of Ghost Hunters, you know what I mean? Having that type of thing, I feel like almost was kind of on brand with this kind of too. But yeah,
Yes. Also, I loved how they actually filmed in an actual factual like mental hospital.
yeah,
It's actually still around and it's still functioning today. It's under a new name, and I pulled the name just for the sake of this. It was reopened in 2021 as the Redfish Healing Center for Mental Health and Addiction,
hmm,
and that is located in rural British Columbia. So it's a real hospital. It's still around. So it really stand out to me because like number one is a real place, and number two,
yeah.
you just look at it and you go, I wonder what it looks like now because like you see it is clearly abandoned. It's like dank, dark, like in terms of atmosphere, 10 out of 10.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah,
And there's a lot of stuff where there's a lot of CGI. You can't help but not have a lot of CGI when it comes to this. And it's of questionable quality. I'll just be fair. But I feel like a lot of what they were trying to go for, in my opinion, there were some successes, definitely some failures too. But it's 2011, so I think it can be forgiven just a bit.
yeah, I mean, 15 years ago, obviously, I think we've made a little bit of headway with obviously special effects and stuff like that. But um, like the one where I think the one guy is getting picked up in the air, I thought that was that's kind of cheesy a little bit too. But yeah, I
Well,
think yeah,
there was a one scene, and I found this in research too. They wanted to do a lot of practical falls and
yeah.
such, but they just either didn't have the budget for it or just it didn't look good enough to do it. I feel like it may have been a combination of both of those factors.
But I think like the scene where like her hair gets like brought up, raised up or whatever, I thought that was cool. I mean, that looked practical enough. Um, Obviously, I mean, you didn't really have to do anything special for having that window back, prop back open, but I still think it did enough to give you chills. You know what I mean? Um, Even when the one guy falls down the steps, like he's being like pushed. You know what I mean? That was practical enough. With the door shutting when the one guy is filming, you know what I mean? Like different things like that. I mean, you could easily do that stuff, and I mean, it's practical enough. It works. And then you start getting to where you're looking at like all the arms coming up from the ceiling and stuff like that. And then I think then that's where you're really kind of starting to, stretch it out a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yes. I feel like with these characters, your mileage is going to vary. I think they're okay. I feel like on paper, there's a lot of fun you could have. Like you have the host, Lance, who's the charismatic
Yeah,
one, who's the face of the brand. You got Sasha, who's the expert. You got Matt and TC, who are the cameramen, and you have Houston, who's supposed to do the "May God have mercy." Like it just like he's supposed to look the part. Like
yeah.
he's about as like fake as you can get.
Oh,
But
100%. Yeah,
on paper, you look at this and you go, you know what? I can buy that.
yeah.
And I feel like there's not a ton done with them. I mean, and it could be a budget thing. The movie's only 95 minutes long. I'm not complaining about the runtime necessarily, but I feel like there was a lot of meat left on the bone.
Yeah, I mean, we could have done stuff with. I mean, you could have had a lot less of this like stuff, this running around type stuff, this f bomb that, like shades of obviously Blair Witch Project, but like just having all that and doing that and just having these over the top like scenes where we're trying to get jump scares deliberately. You know what I mean? You definitely had an idea here. I was on board with it. I liked it. You know, the execution of it, having that whole entire ghost hunter type thing. Cool. You know, let's do it. But how he executed, I just think we could have done it a lot better. You didn't have to go over the top with special effects to make this like creepy. You know what I mean? To get the goosebumps on your arms and on the back of your neck stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's what Blair Witch Project needed, a literal
Yeah.
CG witch going,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah. I mean, and how many times has that been used with like the just like cameras falling? And I feel like that's like with like I don't know, man. It's so hard to not indirectly rip off Blair Witch Project. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
crazy what that movie did. I mean, just to absolutely take that found footage genre and just make it its own. I mean, you just everything that anybody does with found footage. I mean, you owe it to the Blair Witch, and they just did it so great. You know?
That's the Rosetta Stone. That was the one that walked so
Yeah,
many others after it could run.
yeah,
And like I think to your point, what you were saying, when you get into the actual meat of the matter, it starts out you're like, okay, like are
yeah,
is this actually haunted or are they like
yeah,
getting messed with? And
yeah,
we know like what happens, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe you could have gone a little more psychological with this because like it just turns into a full blown haunted mansion situation. Or is like
yeah.
where the bus going? Do 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 do. Like that's all that was missing at a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, and it's one of those things where it's like I did like the whole fact of okay, escape exit or emergency exit, awesome, and it's like completely cemented off. I like that. That's cool. Like let's explore some of that. Let's keep that going for a while. You know what I mean? That whole idea of okay, time lapse. I like that. I like that whole thing. We don't even know what time it is now. Is it 6 o'clock? Is that guy supposed to be here to open the front door? You know, we have no idea what's going on. Like that whole idea. That was like that was creepy enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then, like I said, when we throw in all these extra like demons and ghosts and stuff like that, I just feel like I don't know. You kind of lose me here because I think we're deliberately going over the top with it. You know?
Well, I will say though, I thought the ending of this was actually quite chilling because
Yeah,
like everyone gets like taken out except for Lance, and well, Lance because context for this hospital, they did lobotomies at this hospital, and well,
yeah,
Lance gets lobotomized. And I don't know, there's a part of me that just finds that really terrifying. Is like you're alive, but you're like not aware. I don't know. That just skeezes me out to no end.
yeah. I mean, I think that part at the end when obviously he that all happens or whatever, and then he sees those guys operating. Is it real? Is it not real? Like I get that. That's I mean that's cool. But like I said, with all that other stuff leading up to it, I don't know.
Well, there was actually an alternate ending that was released many years later by the Vicious Brothers onto YouTube, and it basically sees Kenny arrive on time to unlock the hospital the morning after the crew entered because the crew locked themselves
Yeah,
in. And he's like, "What is going on?" And he sees nothing but like Lance, who's like, it's happened by now.
yeah,
And so like then that happens, and then there's like this whole thing of like the police believe it's all a hoax, but like they can't put together what happened to Lance, and then like Lance like like the actual crew in hindsight like try to interview Lance personally, and like Lance like does a whole like scream and terror thing. I don't know how I would have felt about that ending myself. I feel like what we got was fine, but I like it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, I mean it is. So the crew. So when they go for this alternate ending, is everybody alive then,
I don't know. Like from I'm reading it off of
or
the
is it
page
like,
here.
or is it that they come in and they see Lance, and do they feel like Lance killed everybody?
I feel like that was what they were trying to go
Okay.
for,
Okay. All right.
but it was like it's vague on the page that I'm reading on. I
Okay.
guess I'll just leave it at that. But
Yeah,
again, it is interesting to think about, and I feel like just in general to kind of wrap things up, I feel like there's a lot of wasted potential here. However, I feel like there's enough for me at least to give it a modest recommendation. I'll give this a good rating. It's definitely not best of the genre, but
for
it's
sure.
definitely it's got enough going to where you'll be like, okay, there's some good stuff here.
Oh, no, effort was made for sure. I'm in, like, this is like a middle of the road for me. I don't hate it. It's a middle of the road for me, but I just think that we could have done a lot more. I think to make this a little bit more of a tighter film. Um,
Right.
and then I don't know. There wouldn't be really a spoiler, but would Lance come back in the second one of this?
I've not seen the second one, so I have
Oh,
no idea.
okay, okay, yeah. Just
I guess
just
we will
spitballing.
we will find out together.
Okay.
But I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of Grave Encounters? One more note, I just literally remembered just now. September of last year, there was announced that there's going to be an American remake with Justin Long starring and being produced by Kate Bosworth, of all people.
Jeez.
So
Okay.
the jury's out on whether
Okay.
or not that'll be good. But I mean, Justin Long is going to be good. I mean, it's Justin Long. What are we doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. Will they do found footage? Will they do straight? It's interesting to think about. Like you
Yeah.
would imagine with something like that, the budget will be a little higher, so
Yeah.
seemingly more room to play with.
Yeah, and it'll get more eyes on the OG, so it's a kind of like a win-win for that too.
Yeah. But what did you think of Grave Encounters? Let us know in the comments. Love to read what you have to say. Russell, thank you so much for doing this with me. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find us Notorious by Chance. Our latest episode, Guardians of the Galaxy, has dropped. And we will be recording. We did a 20th anniversary poll. It was back and forth between The Departed and Children of Men, with us calling it for Children of Men because I think Chance wanted to review that. I would have rather reviewed The Departed, but that's just me. But yeah, looking forward to talking about Children of Men. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so looking forward to talking about that. And you guys can find us as well, Notorious by Chance, on YouTube as well.
Yep, links below. Subscribe to them over there. As far as this channel goes, we will return to the Reiner Project next week. We'll be taking a look at the story of us, a 99 blind spot of mine that I somehow missed in the project, but here we are. And then in 2 weeks' time, we will return to Grave Encounters by taking a look at Grave Encounters 2. So thankfully, this is a shorter series than VHS. There's only two so far. Said to be a third, but again, that's like, I guess not happening, but I guess we'll talk about that. But Grave Encounters 2 in 2 weeks' time. For Russell, my name is Ryan Cam. We will see you all in the next one. Y'all take care.